Listen to this tune. Anyone know this? No more. All right. Can people hear me or not? Can you hear me? Fucking van life. Van life hasn't been too good lately. Yeah, all right, you can hear. I just started with that. I was listening to Cog just before this. If anyone knows Cog, and what does that song say at the start? He says, what if in the future people just decided no more fear? And their album was called New Normal. It was written 13 years ago. Can you fucking believe that? But yeah, I'll just make it short because everyone's saying, "Oh, Ricardo's on." And actually, I wouldn't mind going to watch Ricardo. But yeah, I just wanted to test this because I'm going to head out in the outback and I'm not going to have any phone reception for a while. So I thought I'll do this now anyway and just let people know what I've been doing and fucking like clear up a bit of the hysteria going on at the moment. Can people feel it or what? So I just want to point this one out, right? I quote Dr. Richard Day a lot, and I first heard about him in a David Icke presentation I went and saw in 2011. So for those who don't know, Dr. Richard Day was he worked for Planned Parenthood. He also worked on weather modification back in the 60s, and he was an insider for Planned Parenthood and the Rockefellers. He basically laid out how the world was going to change, and he did this in 1969. So I'm not going to, like, he talked about the transgender agenda, boys and girls. They were going to make boys and girls the same. Direct quote, Dr. Richard Day. He also spoke, if you look what Albanese spoke about recently, they were talking about bringing in, it wasn't Albanese, it was in Victoria, they're going to bring in a earlier year for kids to start school, like a year early. I was telling people about this years ago. And they basically already have it now with like kinder and 3-year-old kinder, but they're going to bring in an early year. And so he talked about kids would spend longer at school and learn nothing, and that schools would become the hub of the community. And I woke up that agenda, particularly Agenda 21, around 2011. And it was the same year that they put the smart meters in. That's when I started looking at that stuff. And then I noticed that the school system in Bendigo had a thing called the Bendigo Education Plan. It was all the interconnectivity of devices. And I read a lot of their documents. They even spoke about how security was one of the main issues for an education plan. I was like, what the fuck? But anyway, the point I want to get to, this is what's happening now. Dr. Richard Day said, people will have to get used to the idea of change. So used to change that they will be expecting change. And this is just perpetual at the moment. Oh my God, what's going to happen? What's going to happen next? Everyone's like on edge on what's going to happen. So we're actually all playing into that psyop. That is like change is natural. Change is meant to be normal, but the way that change is happening, it's being manipulated so quickly, and they're actually going to fucking merge and twist reality so much that we don't know what the fuck we're living in. And that is not being done by the cabal. That is being done by this other group. They are going to twist and distort and alter reality to the point that we don't know what the fuck we're living in. And this is why I said that the way home is the natural world, because that's real true. So has anyone got a question? I can move on to the other thing, because people were talking about CERN lately too, and they go, "Oh, fucking CERN's gonna open up the portal." Oh, fuck, man! I fucking heard that shit for 8 years about CERN. That's fucking bullshit, mate. They're gonna what? They're gonna crack open other dimensions. CERN is child's play. It is fucking child's play on the cosmic level, and the technology that they already have. And we are a fucking portal. What do you think we are? That's what we are. We can do it naturally, and allowing bad entities to come in, they're fucking here. They're fucking been here. But, you know, as far as like playing out the return of the king, the Antichrist stuff too, they are going to do that. Are you Q against Q or on the fence? That's a 2 hour conversation, that, because I don't say I'm for or against Q. I said Q is real. 100%. Q is real. The Alliance is real. They are a breakaway group of the Cabal and the Secret Space Program and the Breakaway Civilization. They are an offshoot. This is a world of dualities, and we're seeing good and evil play out in the duality. But the agenda of Q is not of Earth. It's from Empire, and it does not have our best interests at heart either. And you can tell that. And this is very controversial in all a lot of the Q things. It says God wins, right? That's the question I ask. God wins. That's the biggest red flag for me, because that God that Q's talking about, that is not the creator. And they will come out. They will say they're working with a benevolent AI, and they are to some extent. But if you're looking for that for the truth, and this is why so many of these Christians, they fucking hate Q. They're like, oh, Q is it's the false savior. It's the false light. Mate, they are going to be the first to fall for it, because they're going to play out Christian prophecy. And those people they are going to love what Q has in store for them. And if you actually saw what Q, one of the last posts, he said, one of the last one he did, I think it was, he said, Summer of Love redo. Now we all know what the Summer of Love was. That was, this was Woodstock. This is when the Beatles turned hippie. That's why they went from the mop tops to the hippie. That was part of the Tavistock operation to twist and invert and culture creation, mass culture creation change, like happening now. And that was all done around the time after the JFK assassination that they brought the Beatles in. So Summer of Love redo, that was it was obviously being done with mind-altering substances, and mostly through the rock music industry, where the CIA created all those bands out of Laurel Canyon. So if you look at what they did there, that's their culture creation, and then the culture creation now we see of Hollywood, same thing. I will answer a question. Is Q Freemasonry? Freemasonry, look, Freemasonry is a spiritual practice. Why do you think it's the 33 degrees of Freemasonry? What is that? That's the vertebrae of the spine, which you become illuminated, or a 33 and a third degree Freemason once you activate the pineal. It's the same thing as the New Age. So those that are in the New Age that have a go at Freemasonry, it's the same thing. It's the same thing as Kundalini. And that's not a bad thing to have that activation either, necessarily, but you're not going to reach source through the pineal gland. Does your fucking soul reside in your head? Does it reside here? Is your soul? Anyone go, oh, geez, when I try and access creator, or I'm feeling into myself. Do you grab your head or do you grab your heart? They're little things that your body knows. And like one day, I went and got my car fixed today. My wheel alignment's out. And my alignment has been completely out. That's how the universe talks to you. My car, this is like, it's almost like my spaceship at the moment. This is like the van I'm in is a part of me, and it represents me. So to hear my wheel alignment was that far out, they're the little messages. I'm not answering any more about Q. I'll go for alien invasion. Yeah, they're going to play out. If you look at they're even there's a mainstream reporter in Australia that's been going over. NASA has asked for everyone to send in their UFO videos at the moment, or whatever they've got, and they're doing a interim study, right? And do you remember Trump Trump did his thing with his son, with Don Trump Jr., and he asked him about Area 51. And what's fucking Q? What's 17 times 3? To the power of, which always makes them more powerful. 17 to the power of 3 is 51. Area 51. And Trump goes, oh, there's some interesting stuff there. We'll see about that, right? They're going to bring it out, right? It's inevitable. And that's what I'm saying there, but they're going to warp reality so hard, you're not going to know what's going to hit you. Okay. But what do you think will happen this month? The month of July. See, look, now this is partially the problem. This is what I was talking about before. That we're going, that we're expecting change. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? What's going to happen? Fucking let it happen. And a lot of people, truthfully, going, oh no, everyone's gone laps now. There's no protesting. Nothing's gone. It's going to kick off because what's the only thing that ends this? No one likes the answer. Mass non-compliance. You know the first word of mass non-compliance? Mass. That's what people could go on. Oh, you're sitting back doing nothing. That we will fuck. We're ready to go when these people wake up. You need mass non-compliance. I've been non-compliant for fucking years. It gets you nowhere. Look at like people like Jordan Maxwell. He was harping on about this shit 80 years ago. It doesn't matter if you don't have the numbers. It's the same thing with this common law stuff. They're fucking right. If you want to talk about common law, we can sit there and talk about fucking admiralty and merchant law and how it's all bullshit and the system doesn't exist and the cops have got fucking just as much jurisdiction as the fucking Walmart security guard. Yeah, no shit. We fucking know that. But until the masses know that, it means jack. So unfortunately, we are waiting for events to play out that are going to be so fucking dramatic. It's going to shock people to their core. And unfortunately, that's what we need. Anunnaki creation, myth or real? Yeah, they're Anunnaki are a race. Yeah, I don't believe the Zachariah Sitchin things. I think he was Sitchin was a plant, but as with all COINTEL, he's got a lot of good stuff. I do have a Sitchin book at home. Does any Nath? What's going on, brother? Nathan, you wouldn't be happy with me, mate. I've been sick. I didn't listen to you. I got tonsillitis. I actually went to the dentist today and got my teeth done. So yeah, it's all like personal change too. It's get your shit right at the moment because fuck man, I haven't been looking after my health very well. You got to listen to me. I'll have to give you a buzz, Dave, mate. It's been a nightmare. It's been an actual nightmare when you're sitting in your van like this and my throat's so fucking sore. I didn't have one painkiller for for days. All right, enough of that. Macca's. Nah, fuck Macca's, man. Any other questions? I'll probably only do another 10 minutes. So and go watch Ricardo, eh? Die off. Your opinion on the die off. Okay, look, I had to go to a hospital, unfortunately, a couple of weeks ago. A friend got really sick. And they spent the day in there. And we were in the waiting room for a long time. We saw people coming in and out with the things on their chest. This is only in a very, very small town. The waiting room was packed, absolutely packed. And I mean, everyone's got these stories. Everyone knows this stuff. But yeah, people coming in with heart problems. It's out of control. And when do you think this is going to end? All right, now look, you're in for the long road. If you're going even off what Trump said, right? There's so much that has to play out. They talked about the end of the filibuster. He's like, oh, if Biden gets in, they're going to end the filibuster. They're going to pack the Supreme Court. Well, they haven't fucking packed the Supreme Court yet. They've got to play all that out. They've got to invade Taiwan next. They've got to go to the Middle East. This is why they're showing all this stuff with Ukraine. It's going to link Ukraine to the Iran nuclear deal. It's going to go back to Hillary Clinton. They're going to show that even now, why are they getting Albanese? Oh, here's another $100 million, fucking Vladimir, who lives in Kyiv now. Fucking Kyiv. Fucking, who goes to the butcher and orders a chicken Kyiv? You ever heard this fucking nonsense? Man, geez, that shits me. Like, why do you call it Kyiv? And they go, oh, that's the Ukrainian way they pronounce it. Oh, well, why don't we call Rome Roma or France fucking Francais? Or like I lived in Prague. No one in Prague calls it Prague. It's Praha. Fucking idiot. was having a conversation with someone. Anyway, they go. Why'd Albanese go over there, flooding all this money into Ukraine? It's going nowhere, mate. It's not even going to the war, supposed war effort. They're doing this to create a plan to set up a narrative for a later date. And what they're showing is Ukraine is a money laundering operation. So they're showing you now, they're showing the public, all these countries all over the world, they're just funneling all this fucking money into Ukraine. And where's the money going? The money, and this is surface level, this is a surface level, layer one of this story, right? Which is true to one level, that they were getting money through Ukraine into fucking Tehran and Iran. So Iran could build a nuclear weapon, which is now coming up in the news a little bit, that they're trying to seek a nuclear weapon, and that Iran was going to attack Israel. This, you want to know when it's going to end? That's when it's going to end, when we get to that part of the story. That's a long way off, right? And they're going to bring the world to the brink of nuclear war, of what the people will think is nuclear war, right? And that is even in the Q post. They say Israel last. And one of the testing things for a lot of these people that follow Q, and I'm not a Q supporter, is that they don't do anything to Israel. Fucking no one licked the ass of Israel more than Trump. No one, right? He fucking gave them the Golan Heights that they stole from Syria in the 6-Day War, where the fucking Israelis bombed the fucking USS Liberty, killed American citizens. They're our greatest ally. And look, fuck, mate, all this shit leading to Israel. Look, the Maxwell case come out now. They fucking no. I want to see nothing more than the end of the Zionists. Absolutely nothing more. So look, that's when you know it's going to come to an end. It's where the build up to that. And I'm telling you, that is why they're showing you the money going to Ukraine. The money going to Ukraine is going to Iran to attack Israel. That is their final part of this story that they want to show, and the return of the king. This is coded. All right, next one. Do you need to learn Spanish and move to Mexico? I can say por favor, cerveza. I've been to Mexico a couple of times. I absolutely love it. But you know what? Actually, like being out here, like man, I've traveled all around the world, and it's actually quite humbling out here. I actually got a bit scared on the high. I'm like, I'm kind of fucked out here. Like, if I get, that's why I got my car fixed. So if a car breaks down, then. But the wildlife, man, I was driving down the road. I thought there was a cow. I thought it was a fucking cow on the road. This car stopped. It's a fucking pig. It's a pig. I'm not joking. It was like it would have been over a meter tall, 2.5 meters wide. It was fucking the biggest thing I've ever seen in my life. Couldn't believe it. All right, where was it going? Can you do another chat with JC? Yeah, I'd love to. I saw Campbell. You're on there, are you? I want to watch Campbell's presentation. Campbell, Kelly, and JC did a thing in Melbourne the other week, and I'd love to go see them when they're in Brisbane. And I had a few friends go around the city with Campbell, and they loved it. Yeah, there you are, brother. Yeah, man. So yeah, that would be awesome. JC's so new agey. So, mate, this is the concept. People of like, look, I don't think she's very new agey at all. People got to understand the difference between spiritual understandings and new age, right? What you'll find is most Christians have fallen for the same program as New Age, which is a pacification program. The amount of Christians I talk to that are sitting back doing nothing, waiting for the reckoning and waiting for the second coming. That's New Age. That's pacification. That's right brain. Overindulging in the right brain. Alex said it was awesome. Yeah. Darren, I know you're there. So yeah, Daz, I think I'm heading to Uluru, brother, in the next few weeks. We'll see how it goes. Now I even like the reason for doing this trip. Like it's it's the gay thing of like trying to find myself, but like I did find myself in a position where I fucking just basically threw everything in my old life away. And I'm like, well, I've never seen Australia. And I kind of like, I actually need to get my health right. I need to like get into nature. I need to see shit I haven't seen. Um, New experiences always brings new knowledge. Meeting new people always brings new knowledge. And then also I wanted to go to Uluru to connect my heart with Uluru, as gay as that sounds. Because Uluru's heart is my heart. It's the same thing. It's not even there. It's like it's inside. Um, Quit the cigs. Yeah, mate. That's yeah. Look, we're not perfect, right? Too, and I've got I got my own problems just like anyone else, and dealing with health has sometimes I think I'm 21. I think I'm 21. I can still fucking party all the time, right? It's like I can't do that shit anymore. Um, yeah, connecting with nature, yeah, and like, look, you gotta. I'll tell this story. I think I said it the other day where I took these pictures of these Aboriginal cave drawings, paintings or whatever, and they're fucking unbelievable, mate. And the thing is, out here, like you go to some of these sites, and like there's fucking no one there. I'm like, this should be one of the greatest tourist spots in the world, and there's no one there. And I felt the energy there, right? And like that malevolent being. And the rocks told me, don't fucking post that picture. And I posted it. I was on my ass straight after it. So I'm gonna respect because that wasn't respect because I fucking knew as well. I knew to post it. Um any other questions? Huge crystals under Uluru. Yeah. Just keep going, stay alive. Don't want to go watch Ricardo. Yeah, smoke organic tobacco. But you know, like the thing is there actually is something very sacred in the tobacco plant. The tobacco plant, much like the marijuana plant, is a sacred plant. It's used for ceremony. And particularly the Native Americans, when they smoke the peace pipe, they do it in a communal circle. And you'll know if you're a smoker, right? And I think this is my attachment to it. When you're a smoker, there's something very spiritual about it, right? Say if you're at a job or whatever, and then all the smokers go out, or you're at a bar and they all go out. Where does everyone huddle to? Where's the life of the party? It's the smokers. And why is it? Because the smokers, you'll go up and you talk to someone you don't know because they're a smoker. You know, you're automatically in that community. But it's something with the smoke. It's the same as the peace pipe. They share the peace pipe around because they share the story. And it's like the modern day version of doing that. But what they've done is they've butchered and bastardized the tobacco plant. They've destroyed it. So the organic tobacco plant is a spiritual plant. The shit I smoke has, like everything they've done, they've fucking twisted and altered and destroyed everything. So there's definitely a place for tobacco, but like anything, it can be abused. Are we about growing? Are we about growing your own? Yeah, well, they grow it up here, don't they? They grow it up in North Queensland, but it's all genetically modified shit. And what they actually do when you've GMO'd something, you've you're twisting and changing what that the entity of that plant is, because that plant is a living being. It's an entity. You have a relationship with it. As a smoker, you have relationship with it. But when you destroy it on the DNA level, it's not what it is, and that's what they're doing to humans. And if you look, there's a great presentation. I might even post it in my Telegram after this. It's fucking brilliant. They talk about the cancer in the 1950s, and that they had this enzyme CYP1B1 that they found that is in all. Sorry, it's the silvestrols that is a compound that's in all green vegetables, right? And if you eat this, it has an enzyme CYP1B1 which neutralizes all cancer cells in your body. So all you have to do is eat green vegetables that contain silvestrols, and it just naturally will kill any cancer cell in the body. It's a natural defense mechanism against cancer because cancer is fungal infection. That's what it is. And this is what the silvestrol, the CYP1B1, attacks fungal infection in the body. So what they did when they started chemical spraying farming, the plant thinks that it's being attacked by a cancer, so it releases the enzyme from the sylvester, the CYP1B1 enzyme, to kill the fungicides, right? When they're spraying. So that when you're eating these green vegetables, they're not fucking doing anything. They haven't got that enzyme in them. And that is not by accident. They've fucking done that. And if you look at cancer, it basically didn't exist in the 1950s. And our grandparents didn't call it organic food. It was called fucking food. There was no such thing as fucking GMO food. And GMO food was brought in by George Bush Sr. mostly. He did the deal with Monsanto. And then obviously Gates bought it after it. Anything else? Are we going to gain some knowledge from the locals while you're up there? Yeah, I'd love to. Actually, I was talking to a friend that's lived in the desert, and she's giving me some tips on yeah, like just when you enter country to do your own ritual, to fucking find elders and stuff like that, and just listen and there's a lot of fucking weird shit out here. Like I've heard you've got to play to certain rules, right? If you're aware of natural law and stuff, or you're going to get fucked. So yeah, I'd love to. I do like to connect with as many people, freaking black, white, blue as possible. Um, if you're going to Uluru, are you also going? Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. Well, if it's around the same time, um, don't know if I will be, but yeah, if it's around the same time, that'd be cool to do the gathering with them. I think like I don't want to tread on their toes either. I mean, I'm not going there to hang out with them. I'm going there for my own thing, but what will be will be. How do I communicate with you on Telegram? Fuck, don't even bother, man. If you can't get the comments, bong on, bro. You know what? I used to smoke bongs when we were teenagers, not much, just a little bit, and I never liked it. And I had a psychotic episode from too much weed once, and never again. I can't touch the stuff. I tried again after I actually went to Amsterdam. I had a little puff, and it came back on. So I can't touch weed. Some people can, some can't. And actually, if you go and listen to the interview I posted last week with Alicia and that beautiful lady that worked in the psychiatric facilities, if you haven't watched it, go watch that. It's unreal. Um, she spoke about a lot of people in the psychiatric wards, and that these demons that were possessing these people, and she had the ability to see some of these entities and stuff, and she said a lot of them were marijuana smokers too, and that entities would come in um, with marijuana smokers. And my old boss used to be a heavy weed smoker, and he stopped because he started seeing gray aliens drilling into his head. That's why he stopped. And I'm like, dude, that shit was real bad. You weren't fucking seeing shit. Um, so yeah, weeds like anything, it's relationship. You don't fuck with a plant. You don't sit there and smoke bongs all day, every day. That's not how it's meant to be smoked. That's abusing the plant. It's the same with people that go do ayahuasca every fucking 2 weeks. It's like it's not how you're supposed to do it. That's not um, that's not relationship. But also, if you go listen to a guy called Robert Stanley, he's written a couple of books, but he talks a lot about archons, and he talks about these dark archon entities that possess these people, and they will go jump off buildings, kill themselves, and it's complete human possession. And I've actually seen human possession. I've seen it in the very recent history, and it's one of the fucking scariest things you will ever see in your life. What Dale? What do you think is going to happen in the next few years, mate? It's like there's a certain amount of power of what we can do and what's going to be manipulated. But at the end of the day, you can only control yourself. But this ends well. But it's going to be carnage, I think, too. Madeline Doherty did a video on this. Yeah, well, that's who I was talking to. Madeline, she knows her shit. She's given me a few kicks up the ass. Dale, do you believe reptilians are real? Yes, 100% they're real. Um, I stopped smoking because it's dangerous. So yeah, psychosis or awakening. It's It's a fine line, isn't it? For me, I guess it was an awakening experience not to fucking ever do that again. I did see and hear shit I didn't ever want to see again. Just Sarah. No, I'm not going to answer that one. Have you tried mushies? I've had like tiny little bit of mushies and some other stuff, and that doesn't fucking go well with me anyway. Any psychedelics not good for me. I will do ayahuasca once, but it's not time now. What channel is that interview on? Oh, it's on Alicia Brashay, Cosmic Gateway. It's really, really good. She's a former psychiatric nurse, but she's also an intuitive as well. But yeah, go listen to her and also listen to trying to think of their name now. And Robert Stanley um on the Archon entities as well. Unbelievable. And you talk about when people are on ice and that they get this superhuman strength. And this is when did ice come in, right? When did ice come in heavy into Australia? We had the gangland wars in Melbourne, Carl Williams and all that shit, and Mockbell who thought they were fucking untouchable. Why do they think they're untouchable? Because they were working with the cops and they were working with the fucking government and the federal police. But guess what? The new kids come to town. This is when China took over the drug market in Australia, and this was the early 2000s. The Chinese came in, took over the drug market, and the old fucking Carlton crew and all that mob that was serving the high ups of like ASIO and shit that were bringing drugs into Wollongong Airport and the other drugs down. They weren't being needed anymore. It's like when George Bush Senior took out Escobar and worldwide cocaine just went up. That's when they flooded all the crack onto fucking the west coast of America with Rick Ross and all that stuff. But have a look. When did all the ice come in? Mid 2000s. I remember in Bendigo was fucking everywhere. Ice is a designer drug and it is designed for a particular entity to enter into the human, complete demonic possession, archontic possession. And where does that come from, right? They China and they refine it all up in Myanmar, where fucking Hillary Clinton put in her stooge. And then they bring it down. And in Australia, they bring it down through Singapore into Perth. And that's why Perth's got the biggest fucking drug problem. And all the other places like Townsville and Darwin. Why Townsville and Darwin? Because they're the military bases. That's who brings the drugs in. And anyway, ice just ravages. Absolutely, ice is the worst. But yeah, when the ice takes over the person, that's our concept possession. Senior alive in Gitmo, George Bush Senior. Mate, he'd be pretty fucking old. He looked pretty haggard when he died, didn't he? Michael Bush Senior's dead. Has anyone listened to ever used to watch Mike Williams? Mike Williams got an awesome channel, Sage Aquay. I've listened to him for years actually, but he did a bit of work on Barbara Bush and believes that Barbara Bush is Aleister Crowley's daughter, but also is Paul McCartney, or Billy Shears, the man that replaced Paul McCartney. So Paul McCartney is Barbara Bush's brother. Yeah, ice takes your soul. It really does. You look at someone that's on ice. There's no soul there. They completely left the body. What's your opinion on Wano Saban? Actually, Joe, I like listening to him, man. I like listening to him because you know what he was saying the other day, right? Like he's frustrating as fuck, right? And Wano Saban and the rest of those people, they've got absolute fucking contempt for the population. But I love listening to him. And they're talking about the Second Amendment, and this is how I'm seeing it playing out and how it's being coded, right? Why they're bringing up all this stuff about the Second Amendment now? They're teaching people morality. This is why they did the Roe v. Wade thing. No matter what the fuck you think of it, they're starting to school the people, deprogram them from 70 years of fucking Tavistock CIA culture creation to deprogram them back into morality and natural law. And natural law is you don't fucking kill babies, right? It's that simple. But with the Second Amendment is the right to self-defense. I fucking posted it before, right? You look at the Second Amendment, word for word. Read this. A well regulated militia is what the start says. A militia is the people. People think the militia is like some fucking rebels overseas that formed the militia. The militia just is the population, is an armed population, well regulated. It means they know themselves, they know their community, and they know their guns, and they know how to use them. Be necessary for the security of a free state. Now, Australia is not free and will not be free until we have the right to bear arms. You have the right to self-defense. That is natural law. And it said so it is necessary to a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Not fucking if, but twist this rule. You can carry a gun here, you can't carry here, he can't carry a gun. No, the right to bear arms shall not be infringed ever. It's not the government's right. It's a right. It's not given by government. It shall not be infringed ever. And in the southern states, there's no way they're going to give them up. So what I'm seeing happening, they're bringing all this Second Amendment stuff all right, and they're going to go hard to get it, and they will not get it. There is going to come to a point where they're going to show the world what the militia is. And the purpose of the militia is they wanted to destroy America in a third world war to be fought outside of America and then America to have a civil war. That was the plan. It hasn't happened, right? America can't be invaded, so they had to do it from the inside. They had to dismantle it from the inside. So what the well-regulated militia, they were going to have to destroy America in a third world war and then bring troops in. So they're going to have to bring in an international body into America under the guise of something else, which Henry Kissinger spoke about, that one day the UN people would welcome the UN into America. So what is that event going to be where they're welcoming the UN in? But what I'm saying is that we see what was written for. To me, that was written by the creator, the Second Amendment. That was a document written in the past for the future. It was written for this time right now. They fucking knew this time. I think they even had access to this time and saw it. And what we're going to see is the militia. And we saw parts of the militia when the George Floyd thing happened and all the riots were breaking out. And then there are people down in like Tennessee and Alabama and the fucking, who turned up? The militia. There was thousands of people armed with fucking 5 guns apiece saying, you come in here and try and fuck with our city. We're the militia. That's what the militia is. And there could be a point where it reaches a showdown. And the militia is peaceful too. Who wrote the Constitution? Now, everyone will say, yeah, Constitution written by Freemasons, the founding fathers, right? This is how how it works, right? Even to the point that Lucifer has had its reign, this satanic force has had its reign on this planet. They have to operate within the rules. And the rules are you must still give the people choice. And what they've done is the choice that they've given the population, the world, is the new world of America. And they gave them the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. And they said, we're going to go fucking do our very best to this world to fucking bring you to your knees, but you have to give the people free will option. And they did that with those documents. And they're not just for the US, that's for all of us. But you're right, yeah, it's still written by paper. It's natural law. Thou shalt not kill. Yeah, it's natural law, isn't it? Pretty simple. Natural law is don't do any harm to any other sentient being. What else? I might go in a minute. I think I want to go listen to Ricardo. Eh? The rest of you probably do too. What about the children? Yeah, well, I've heard fucking stories, even in the last couple of days, from people that you wouldn't even want to believe. Are you writing any of this in a book or script? What? Yeah, birth rate going down. Have a look at have a look at Japan's birth rate from 8 years ago. Was already in mass decline, and the Japanese are having the least amount of sex than anyone. and the least desire for relationships because they've pushed that Western um, business work on them, right? Social programming. Most eugenics is not done biologically. It's done through social conditioning, social program. You know, when you're on Tinder, right? And you'll go, oh, some girl might match up, those that have been on Tinder and go, oh, fucking, oh, yeah, you look all right. How tall are you? Oh, yeah, I'm 5'11. Nah, what the fuck is that, right? That's social engineering. That's social conditioning. And they've done that through fucking Disney programming as well, too. The whole princess fucking princess prince, Prince Charming fairy tale doesn't exist. Do you do any meditation? I do, but very light. I can't sit there for hours and meditate. For me, it's like 5, 6 minutes. Slow my breathing down. And I've got a mantra that I say, or I just fucking if I'm in the bush, I don't say anything. I just listen, ask a question. So my meditation, if I'm in the bush, is I ask a question and then you listen. And particularly when you're in the bush too, the bush will it'll talk to you. It'll give you answers. It's a bit particularly in like the wind or a tree will fall or a bird will come down or it talks. But all right, just say you're 6 foot back. One of my goals in life was to be 6 foot, and I'm 5'11. Never made it. Never made it. All right. Yeah, if you guys like this, I might do more in the future, but yeah, I could be offline for a little bit, but yeah, hopefully get some good insights and enjoy it in all the ruins shit. Because I've been wanting to go there for a few years and never did. David Icke and Max, yeah, obviously. Actually, David Icke led a group out to Uluru in the late 2000s. I was going to go then. Yeah, sweet. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good night. Talk to you soon.